Hey everybody, welcome to another session. Today I'm going to be talking about AutoCAD. So what I'm going to do today is show you how to create a dynamic block where you can actually translate from different languages, from English, French, Chinese, and Spanish. Now, here are some of the words that have been translated, and I'm just going to show you how to add those into the dynamic blocks. So the first thing I'm going to do is that I'm just going to add in attributes. I'm just going to give it a generic one. 125, standard's fine. Let's do middle. And I'm going to put it like that. Now in here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in a value. Okay, so here what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to call this, name. Room name. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go insert this position. I'm just going to put that as test. So in here, what I'm going to do is you're going to add in what's known as the lookup table. Now, lookup table is going to have conditions where you're going to add it in certain values. The next thing I'm going to do here is that I'm just going to add in another parameter. Oops. And in this particular case, I want to make this then invisible so you don't see anything. And I'm going to call this thing, let's say, category. Here I'm just going to say room tag. I like to put that because inside Revit, we always have categories. In here, it's much easier to put it in because AutoCAD doesn't have any categories added to this. As more you put in those categories, you can actually filter things out when you do scheduling. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a move functionality to this. So I'm just going to say my insertion point is going to be here. Now here what I'm going to do is that the number of grips, I'm going to make it 0 and just give it a name, proper name. This is going to be data 1. Next thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to put in another move command. This time I'm going to put in somewhere closer to there. You can put as much node as you want. The node is basically indicating data 2. So what I mean by data is that each of those represent two functions. So this is kind of like the trigger point, right? So within this point, it has this x and a y value. Okay. So here what we're going to do is that when you add a property, you see that there's x and y, x and y. So what I'm doing right now is that I'm creating a 4 data points, which represents 4 data points for each of these. Okay. So the next thing, this is going to be the main trigger. Okay. This is going to be just a trigger point. All right. So how are you going to tackle this? So this is the master control that will control all this value. For now, I'm not going to do anything. Now, what you can do is I just keep adding in. I'm going to call this English. Okay. In here, what I'm going to do is that display lookup. I'm just going to add one of them, data X. Okay. Here, if the data is at 0 or let's say 1, 2, let's see how many do we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So let's say you get 7. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So here what I'm going to do is that you're going to put in bathroom. So here I'm just going to paste it in. Just put in the bathroom. Kitchen. Living. Bedroom. Entry. Closet. And finally, study room. Once you do that, you notice that it says allow reversible lookup. Just hit find. So you have the English node. What I'm going to do with this, again, this is just a database. I'm just going to put 0 because I don't want that to show up inside my property. The next thing I'm going to do is going to add another one. This time this is going to be French. Come on. AutoCAD does not crash. So what I'm basically doing is that I'm adding in database for each one. So let's say for this one, French, lookup table, add the second data. And here I'm just going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. French. Again, I'm just going to copy cuisine. Saloon. Bedroom. I'm not a French person, but I'm going to be bad at translating some of this stuff. Entree. That's what I translate. All right. So you add in those database. Okay, you can have as many as you want. Okay, once you have that, you have the reverse lookup. Okay, again, I'm just gonna make sure that this is set to 0. Next thing you want to do is add in the next one, which is Chinese. Here, you're going to do the same. Add a property, data X. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So here, Chinese. I'm just going to go in here. Copy. Paste. Copy. Paste. Copy. Paste. Copy. In the beginning, when you set this up, it's pretty tedious. When you look at this, it's like, okay, like, why are you doing this? Now, what is the purpose of this? The reason why I'm doing this is because a lot of the AEC firm right now are working with multiple firms in multiple locations in multiple regions around the world. So rather than having multiple offices speak differently with different kind of title blocks and stuff, what you have right now is that ability to basically translate all those languages that you're going to use. So as well, some of the users have to use other offices to help them out. In my previous job, we have an office in Israel, and we have another office in Toronto. What happens is that one side is using English, the other one's using Hebrew. Now, one side do not know how to speak Hebrew, the other side does not know how to speak English. So what is the purpose of making two different languages for different ones? So rather than doing that, what I did is I devised this sort of a method where you can actually help user regardless of what language they don't speak the language, they can still understand what to choose. So here I'm just going to do the same thing, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7. So when you look at this in terms of global perspective, um, this does help a company save time and money. So you can have people working on projects from around the world, and you don't have to constantly translating a lot of this word. You can just go in there, work on it, and get out pretty much. So this setup requires everybody to go in there and just set it up one time. Just discuss, make sure that you understand how a lot of this database works, because all I'm showing you is just a very simple example. Right. So once you have the data already categorized, okay, so this is going to be the trigger point. So what you're going to do here is that you're going to add all of these. Okay, this one I want to say all ones, all twos, all threes, all fours, all fives. Yeah, I wish Autodesk has a way to basically make this thing a little bit easier, like export function, import functions, that makes this database a little bit easier to manage. So far, this is only within AutoCAD. Not a lot of people know about this feature. So here, what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to use the master. Now, for this particular one, make sure that, let's say, bathroom. Um, Here, I would just say do not have the same lookup as the English version. So here you want to add an extra word. So whether you want to put in French, Chinese, or whatever language you want to put it in, I'll leave it up to you. Most cases, what I do is that it really depends. I would put all 4 languages if you need to. But here, since we're all English speaking, I'm just going to put in English. Yeah, that's the caveat, is that once you have one lookup contains the same name, make sure that the other one do not have the same name, or else this thing would just confuse itself. It doesn't know what to do. Six. Oops. Closet. Finally, number 7 is study room. Okay, so this is the main controller that controls basically what's going to happen. Now, what I'm going to do with this, it's pretty simple. I'm going to create one called the visibility set. Okay, I'm going to call this language. Language. So in this particular one, I'm going to copy 4 times. Okay, one of them I'm going to leave it English. Okay, the default I'm just going to go insert field, and in here you got object, and then you have one called the English. Okay, I'm going to use that as my data. That's my lookup string. Next one I'm going to have is French. So in here, I'm going to use the French. Next one, Chinese. I'm going to insert the field, choose the Chinese. And finally, Spanish. Click insert field and choose Spanish. Now, what I typically like to do with this is I like to put in that as my insertion point so that I know exactly where everything lies in. So in here, what you're going to do is that this is going to be English. Next one's going to be French. Okay, so the French, I want this to be off. But in English, we'll go in there and say Chinese. back to English, and then Spanish. Off. Now what I'm going to do is I go back to this and turn off the rest. So you're going to go to back to French. I'm going to go function F3. Good. Chinese. Good. Spanish. Goody. All right. Let's test this out. All right. And then I'm going to go ATT sync. Okay. Select. Yes. All right. Let's do this. Bathroom. All right, let's go in there and see what is going on. Display name. Okay, making sure that there is no other database. Oh, there we go. That's what it is. Yeah, sometimes when you copy it in, paste it in, just make sure that you don't have those data. Okay, there we go. And then let's say I want to change that to kitchen. Let's change that to Chinese. Change that to some other language. Let's say Spanish, French, and you change that to different. So there we go. So that's basically a quick setup, how you do database in different languages. Hopefully, that's a quick summary of how you can make your database as effective. Now, the benefit of this is that I can go in here. Let's say I'm going to add in the 8th, right? Display lookup. Let's say I'm going to add 8. And here I'm going to say balcony. Okay. Here, what they're going to do is that number 8. Let's say what is English. To French. So let's say this is balcony. All right. All I have to do is just copy it in. Say, okay, that's a balcony. Now, what about Chinese? So I'm just going to add 8. Chinese balcony. That's what it is. Okay. Display lookup. Number 8. What is balcony to Spanish? Number 8. Okay. And now what you're going to do is in this lookup, you're going to add number 8. All 8s. And 08 balcony. Okay. Very, very efficient. And then save it. Now what you have is that you have number 8. French, switch to Chinese, and there we go. Now, hopefully you find this very useful. I'm going to make this file available for everybody if anybody is interested to kind of go further with this translation, kind of a dynamic block. I use it quite a bit because of differences in different languages. I hope you can find this very useful, and if you have any question, just write down a comment and send me a text. Thank you very much.